Okay, we're going to do chapter 10 now, and chapter 10 is about Pythagoras. And the name Pythagoras seems so hard and difficult, but actually it's really easy. Now, look at this triangle. It's a right angle triangle, and that's very important. Pythagoras only works with right angle triangles. That's 4, that's 3, and that's 5. That will always be the longer side. The side opposite to the right angle is always the longer side. And it's got a special name called hypotenuse. Now, imagine with this situation here. It's the same triangle, but I've drawn squares from each side. So if that's 3, that's also 3. If that's 4, that's also 4. That's 5, that's also 5. And here I've just shown the sides again of the same triangle, but instead of 3 I've called it A, instead of 4 I've called it B, instead of 5 I've called it C. Now you draw the same thing and you tell me what's the area of each square. What's the area of each of those squares? It should have had this. Can you see? 5 times 5 is 25, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. Well here, A times A is A square, B times B is B square, and C times C is C square. Now do you notice any relationship between the numbers? Sorry, that should be 16. 4 times 4 is 16. Do you see any relationship between 16, 9 and 25? Do you see any relationship between this and that? 9, 16 and 25. Did you notice that 19 add 16 is equal to 25? 19 add 16 is equal to 25. Likewise, you can say A square plus B square is equal to C square. Look, 16 plus 9 is 25. So A square plus B square is equal to C square. Okay, so you can write like this. 9 add 16 is 25. Or A square plus B square plus equals C square. Remember, A was 3, B was 4, and C was 5. So A square plus B square is equal to C square. 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 5 square. 9 add 16 is equal to 25. That's a very important formula. Remember that formula. A square plus B square is equal to C square. If you don't understand any of this, watch it again. How do we now use this? Learn that. Now how do we use this? Okay, imagine they gave us this question and they told us to work out A. They told us that it's a right angle triangle, this is 3, that's 4, and that's A. How do we work it out? Well, let's use the Pythagoras formula. A square plus B square equals C square. Now these are just letters that I have given. That could be called Z square, doesn't matter. Okay? So we know that the two short sides are these ones and the long side is that one. Okay, so that square plus that square should equal to that square, which I have written like this. Three square, which is that one, plus 4 square, which is that one, will equal to C square, the longer side. But instead of calling it C square, I just call it what the question is calling it, A square. So from now on, I'm going to use A square. So 3 square plus 4 square should equal to A square. So what is 3 square plus 4 square? Well, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. When you add them together you get 25. So 25 is equal to A square. Now how do we find out what A is? Well, if we square root that and square root that, we'll get our answer. So if we square root both sides, we'll get the answer. A is 5. Let's just do one more. When they give us a triangle like this and they told us that that is 5, that is 10, and the longer side is A, the unknown. We have to work it out, find out what it is. So the that square plus that square is equal to the longest side square, which I represented like this. The layout is very important. Layout like this and you'll never ever go wrong. So 5 square plus 10 square is equal to a square. So what is 5 square? 5 square is 25. What's 10 square? 10 square is 100. So 25 added 100 is 125. 125 equals a square. So how do we work out a? We've got square root 125 square root a. So we've got square root 125 to find a. So what is 125 square root? Do it in the calculator. We find that square root of 125 is 11.18 to 2 decimal places. So a is 11.18 to 2 decimal places. Okay, let's try a slightly different question now. Imagine they give us this triangle now. Imagine they told us the longest side is 17 and one of the shorter side is 15. Find the other short side. Okay, so that square plus that square should equal to that square. So b square plus 15 square should equal to 17 square. What is 15 square and what is 17 square? 15 square is 225, 17 square is 289. So what is the extra thing? The extra thing is the 225 on this side. If we get rid of 225, we just have b square by itself. So how do you get rid of 225? We minus 225 on this side, we minus 225 on this side, just like a normal equation. So I'm going to minus 225 from both sides. Now I'll be left with b square is equal to 64. Because there's nothing left, that's cancelled out. Then 289 minus 125 is 64. So b square is equal to 64. To find what b is now, I have to square root 64. Therefore b is 8 centimeters. See, it's very easy, nothing difficult. Let's just do one more question. The last question, and I'll get along with the chapter. The short side is c and 14 and the long side is 20. We have to find out that short side is represented by c. So 14 square plus c square is equal to 20 square. What is 14 square? 196. And what's 20 square? 400. So 196 plus c square should equal to 400. So how to get c square on its own? Get rid of 196. So if we minus 196 from both sides, or just do 400 minus 196. So c square is equal to 204. All I've done is I minus 196 here, and minus 196 here. So on this that side is cancelled out. All I've got left is c square. On this side I've got 400 minus 196. Okay. So 400 minus 196 is 204. So c square is 204. How do we work out what c is? We've got square root 204. So what is square root of 204? It's 14.28 centimeters to 2 decimal places. If you don't understand enough of that, make sure you watch it, and otherwise you'll not be able to answer the questions.